Hello everybody. So today I'm going to show you a very quick way to use Screencastify. Hopefully you got the email yesterday to unlock the unlimited features. Um, the unlimited features, really the most important part there is that it just gives you unlimited amount of time to record your lessons. There's some other things that are involved with the unlimited, but really I think the most important part right now is just that you can record the video for as long as you need to. So how do we get to Screencastify? It's going to be in your Chrome extension toolbar. It's going to be looks like an arrow with a camera inside of it. So you'll click on that. If you have never used Screencastify before, you will have to enable some stuff. It's going to allow you to get the webcam, capture the microphone, and all those things. You'll also need to make sure that you sync up your Google account with it so that your recordings go to Drive, and then you can share those out with your students. So make sure that you allow all that stuff to go through. Anything that's not allowed to go through, it might hinder your ability to get those recordings or capture those recordings the way you need to. So once you're in Screencastify, there's three basic ways. There's the browser tab. Browser tab's only going to capture what's on the tab, so it would not capture anything else on the screen. So for example, if I had this tab open and I hit start record, but then I also open the next tab to do whatever, it's not going to capture that. I am using Zoom as a recording tool in this because I can't simultaneously show you Screencastify while recording on Screencastify. So it's easier for me to use a different platform to show it to you. So browser tab only captures the tab you're in. Desktop captures everything on your screen. So if you're going to show a Google slideshow, if you want students to watch a short video while you're recording your video, anything like that, anything that's going on your screen, it's going to capture it. So that's the one I would recommend using. And then there's webcam only. Webcam only captures you. So desktop is probably the most used feature on Screencastify. There are more options as well. So some of the options that you have here, countdowns, you can give yourself a little bit of a lead time. If you're recording on webcam specifically and you need to move, to hit start record and then maybe walk back to the camera, you can give yourself a little bit of a lead time up to 10 seconds. And I'm going to move that down to 3 for this video. There are some drawing tools that will show up. It won't show up on the base tab, but it'll show up on any other web browser or website that you go to. So, and I'll show you those in a minute. I won't dive into those very deeply just because, again, I don't think for right now that's the most important thing we need to do here, but those will be there to play around with. System audio, so if you are going to show a video and stop it here and there and have them answer questions throughout your Screencastify recording, make sure you select system audio so it gets the audio from the video in your video. And then show webcam preview. So if you do choose to enable your webcam and embed it into your recordings, then this is going to give you a preview of what you look like so that you can see what's going on, kind of like what you see over here on the right hand side of my screen with me on the right. So I'm just going to go ahead and start a recording so you can kind of see what it looks like. And it's not going to start recording probably because that's awesome, probably because I got my webcam going on already. So I'm just going to do this again, and I'm going to not embed the webcam, and let's try this again. Yeah, all right, so that's fine. I don't really want to see myself twice anyway, so we'll just ignore that. Okay, so here is Screencastify is recording my desktop while simultaneously Zoom is as well. So Screencastify is capturing everything I've got going on here. You'll notice here when I open up a new web page, now I have these drawing tools in the bottom right, or bottom left, excuse me. Again, I'm not going to dive on these. These are really just kind of basic tools, a pen tool so you can annotate. those things. But what I want you to focus on here are the pointer tools. And so the first one is highlight click. So you'll see anywhere I click, there's a red circle. So that kind of just highlights where I'm clicking, because sometimes the mouse is hard to see. The other thing that I can do here is focus the mouse. Again, I can do those simultaneously. I kind of like this tool if you're doing a quick spotlight thing. It's kind of nice, but it darkens up everything else on the screen, so they can be hard to see. So I just really kind of focus on the highlight clicks tool, just because it seems to work the best for me. So again, recording my desktop here, so I can navigate anywhere. If I want to go show a Google presentation, I'm going to move myself there a little bit. And I want to go to my slideshows, and let's find something here. There we go, Intro to Promethean. I think some of you guys have seen this one before. So when that loads up, there's my Promethean presentation that I've given here before. And then when I click on present, then it's still going to record that presentation. What's kind of fun here is if you want to have captions so students can see what's going, if students have any hearing difficulties and need to read what's going on the screen, or even just practice reading, you can have that going on at the same time. I know my predecessor, Mr. Sonogroth, showed something like this on a video he created, so I just thought I would throw it in really quick. But that's kind of a neat tool. You can turn on the closed captions there. All right, so I'm going to exit this presentation, and so now let's say that I'm satisfied with my recording. I'm all done, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it. So I'll go back up to the extension, and I'll click on it. And then here are my options. I can stop the recording completely. So if I am done, everything is good, I'm happy with it, I can hit stop. If I am not happy with what I've done, if my recording, if I messed up or anything like that, I can hit the trash can. The trash can will delete it so that I start over. I would recommend doing that if you aren't happy with your recording, only because you're going to have a bunch of recordings inside of your folder if you don't, and you'll have to sort through all of them. So I'm happy with this one, so I'm going to go ahead and hit stop. So once you hit stop, it's going to bring you into another screen, and I'm going to move myself again here. Once you hit stop, it's going to bring you into another screen, and I hate my lights. Anybody else get annoyed by the motion sensitive lights? I know I do. Anyway, so it's going to bring you to this screen, and you're going to get an opportunity to preview what you've recorded. There aren't a lot of tools in terms of editing here. There is an editor if you've unlocked the unlimited version. Again, I'm not going to highlight that right now, because I do feel the most important thing here is just to show you how to record and how to get it to your students. But feel free to play around with that at your own in your own time. You can rename the recording. So if it is a specific, math lesson, like lesson 2 of unit 7 or whatever, you can name that here so you know what it is, and your students know what it is. If you were recording your webcam and had to walk to and from your computer, you can trim that piece off with the scissor tool, and you just highlight or click on that and drag it to a few seconds to where you need to, and then hit save trim, and it just takes a few seconds and it'll trim that up for you. So we'll let that finish really quick here. So while this is going on, everything that you're doing here, from the renaming it to the trimming it, it's automatically saving it to your Google Drive for you. So it created, when you enabled and allowed all the permissions to go through, what you did was you allowed them to create a folder in your Google Drive called Screencastify. And I'm going to show you that here. So every recording that you allow to complete and finish that you're happy with is going to go into this folder, which is your Screencastify folder. So at least that way you know where you're looking for the things. So everything's going to go there. So there's a few things here. The first thing is copy shareable link. This is probably the easiest way to share it with your students. And I say that because I haven't had much luck with some of these sharing tools in the past. So, and I don't know why. I don't know if that's something on our end or Screencastify's end, but I haven't had a ton of luck with them. So I typically do one of two things. I get the shareable link, and the shareable link just allows you to get a URL, and you can send that straight to your students. You can put it on a Google Doc for them to click on. You can put it into a Google presentation like this one and have them put it on there and have them click on it. That just seems to be really the easiest and quickest way to get it to your students. Put it in Google Classroom. You can do that as well. The other thing that I do, if I am going to upload my video to YouTube, and I'm going to show you how to do that, and just in case you want to do that. For some reason, this publish to YouTube doesn't ever seem to work for me. So a real quick and easy way is to hit the download and then export as an MP4. So MP4 is just a different video format. It's a little bit better than the one that you're seeing here. The one that you're seeing here is made to be viewed within Google's system itself, so in their Google Drive stuff. But an MP4 is just a little bit different. So I'm going to export as an MP4. You can see the progress bar down here. It does take a few seconds to complete, but once it's done, it's going to give you the option to download. So I'm going to let that process. While I'm doing that, I am going to go to YouTube. So while that's working, I'm going to go to www.youtube.com. Make sure you're signed in to your YouTube account for school, and you should see your icon here in the top right. So as long as that's there and you're signed in, you're good to go. So I'm going to go back to this and check on that. And again, it's just going to take a little bit. But what I can do is I can show you with another video that I've done in the past. So we'll go back to the YouTube tab. So once your video is done and you've downloaded it, there's going to be a link here that says download. The quickest way to add a video is to select the camera icon with the plus and then upload video. And then once this comes up, you'll need to select files. So if you're using your Chromebook, you're going to see download somewhere on the right. The file structure system is very similar on a Chromebook as it is on a desktop PC. So you should be able to see the downloads folder somewhere over here in the file structure. Just make sure you find that. So here's some videos that I've done already, and some of them you guys have seen before. So I'll just go ahead and click on one just as an upload. I can stop the process at any time, but just know that this is where you're going to find your video files. So I'm going to click open, and it's just going to take a little bit. All right, so here I can give it its title. So, you know, lesson 7 in unit 4. I can give it a description here if I want to. If I already have a playlist, so if I've already created a math playlist or anything like that, I can put it here, but you don't have to put it in a playlist. This is going to be a really kind of important part is it made for kids? You do want to mark this, and the reason for that is if you don't mark it, they're not going to be able to watch it. So make sure you mark, yes, it's for kids. And then we'll hit next. You can pretty much ignore the second part of this. There's really nothing else you need to add to it. All you're trying to do is get a lesson to your kids. If you know, put it on YouTube. So just ignore that. And then here comes the most important piece to me is how visible do you want this video to be? If you're the only one that wants to watch it, which is most of my videos, I feel like I'm the only one that really wants to watch them. I don't want to share them all, but you can hit private. So private literally means you are it. There's no one else that's going to have access to this. Public means everybody on YouTube, nation, land, world is going to have access to the video if they're searching for a topic that your video happens to trip on. So if you are okay with yourself being out there and being public, then that's the choice for you. However, my recommendation for your lessons, specifically for your students, is going to be unlisted. So unlisted is anybody can have access to it as long as they have the link. As long as they have the link, they have access. They can't do a search for it. They can't find it on YouTube video search bar. It's not going to pop up in their results. It's just only people with the link are going to see this. So now you can see mine sort of aired out here. That's because I've already uploaded this video, but that's fine because I wasn't going to finish this anyway. So my recommendation is to choose unlisted. And then once it's complete, then you can hit publish. And after a few minutes or so, it's pretty much done. And then once you're all set, you will have your videos show up here. You can click on it. So I'm just going to click on this one really quick because I've already done this one. And you will see the video link here underneath the video thumbnail. Once you click on that, it'll go straight to the video. You can copy this to your clipboard and then paste that to your email to your students, paste that onto your Google Classroom when you go to add a video. Whatever the case may be, that's going to be the link to your video you just uploaded to YouTube. That is pretty much it. I feel like I went through that pretty quickly. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you, meet with you, whatever you need, I am here. So that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks a lot.